Now we have the match between Belgium against Egypt. We have the match between a team that one of their strengths is their offensive style, and we have the team that one of their strength is based on compact defense. Now we are going to use this particular predictive model to get or look into the information about these two teams. We are going to do our analysis based on the data provided, and most of these particular data are data that we may not be able to access. Had it been that we do not use this particular method. So the first section that we always have is all about the match overview. As we all know, this happens to be the 2026 World Cup, and this happens to be the first match between these two teams in this particular tournament. Now, the importance of the match as the opening fixture of Group G, this happens to be the first match that they will be playing in Group G. This match is pivotal. Belgium is heavily favored to top the group, while Egypt is fiercely contesting the second qualification spot against Iran. Taking point here could drastically shift the qualification probabilities and knockout stage momentum. Most times in these particular groups that we have, many of us must have predicted some countries that will actually qualify to the knockout stage. But sometimes the uncertainty in sports can actually shift the glory and fortune from one country to another. Alright, so without wasting much of our time, in case you also have interest in getting our predictive model, you can actually drop your correct score of this particular match in the comment section. Alright, if we are to look at the recent form analysis for Belgium in their last 10 games, as we can see it here, they average 2.9 goals and average 0.7 goals conceded. And this shows that their offense is top notch. And looking into the away team, which happens to be Egypt in the last 10 games, they average 1.8 goals scored and average 0.9 goals conceded. These two countries, they happens to be, when it comes to their territory, they are one of the top countries when it comes to football. And between these two teams, based on their tactical style and their strength and weakness, I discovered that the away team may struggle against Belgium. Now, looking into their projected start, or if we want to look into their tactical analysis, we have the start for Belgium. They use the possession dominant, utilizing positional rotation in the midfield, and the pressing intensity, the way they press, it is very very high, and their strength, they use wing play. And for their weakness, high defensive line leaves them exposed to rapid vertical transition. Now, against Egypt that used fast and rapid transition, there is high probability that this Belgium will concede one goal. That is if they lose their guard in their defense line. And for the away team, which is Egypt, if you look at their style, they use compact defensive structure. That means, if you notice very well, most of the African countries, I think they are very good when it comes to defense. Sometimes, maybe among themselves, I don't know, against maybe some other countries outside their continent. Now, the style of Egypt is compact defensive structure, prioritizing verticality upon regaining possession, and their pressing intensity is low to medium. It is not that very high because they defend in a 4-4-2 shape out of possession. And when it comes to strength, it is a light transition speed through Marmoush and Salah. I think this happens to be one of their two of their the best players. We also have some other great players in their squad, and we have their striker, Enastrius guy, that guy, and we also have their weakness, susceptible to intricate passing combination through the edge of the box and overloads on the flanks. Now, if we are to look into the tactical battle, we are going to look at the flank war, the high line versus the break, the defining tactical aspect, and we push I think they mentioned the two players here. I may not be able to pronounce their name very well, leaving massive space for Salah and Marmoush to exploit on the break. So there is high probability that if Egypt can utilize their counter-attack techniques, there is high probability that they will beat Belgium in this particular match. But we are going to determine that when we get to this score line. Now, moving to the advanced statistics projection. So here we have the average expected goals to be scored is 2.15, and for Egypt it is 0.85. But if we should approximate the expected goal to be scored by Egypt, I can approximate it to one. So there is a high probability that Egypt will have at least one goals to be scored. And looking into the possession, we have the favorite team to to dominate this particular game as Belgium. And looking into the total shots, we have 16 and 7. And in total, that is 23. And in this match, I'm expecting at least some shots, but it will not be that very high and it will not be that very low. So we are expecting the shot to be around over 18.5 and probably under 30.5 total shots. So, but I would like to go with over 18.5 total shots. Now, for the total foul to be expected in this match, since it involves two teams with different style of play. Actually, the total foul in this particular match may be medium because had it been that we are experiencing the contest between two defensive teams, there is high probability that we experience physicality challenges. Now, the total fouls to be expected in this match is actually over 19.5 total foul, and we have the big chances which give us an insight on the possible goals to be expected in this particular match. Now, looking into the in case you want to check the key players to watch, you can actually read through, and the probability assessment that we have here is 62%. And don't forget, I said there is a particular trend in this World Cup ever since I've been observing the start and doing analysis like this. I noticed that any teams that are something around 68 or above, there is no way I've not experienced situations whereby that team lose their game. But in this time around we have 62, and there is high probability that Egypt can win this match, but they are not the favorite to actually win based on stats. Now, looking into the match scenario, you can actually read through in case you want to get additional information or insight before you can conclude on your correct score. Now, looking at the predicted score line, the most likely score is Belgium to win by 2 goals to nothing, and the alternative score line is 2-1. Don't forget, I told you guys that there is a high probability that Egypt will exploit Belgium defense. Now, looking into the another probability in case if the match went the other way around, maybe a very tough or tight match, we are expecting 1-1. So this match seems to be a very tight game, but the normal scoreline is 2-0. So when it comes to predicting over goals or under, for me, in my own perspective, if this game turns out to be a very tough match, definitely we should be expecting one goal, at least a goal in this particular match. But the natural prediction I have for it is either over 1.5 goals or over 0.5 goals. So one of these two will surely come out to go. But the safest is over 0.5. The value is over 1.5. All right. So if you are just joining us for the first time, just make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like our video, and drop your correct score in the comment section. I have a chance to win our prompt, and in case you want to get our ebook for this particular prompt that generates detailed information about football fixtures, uh, generate stats, project advanced statistic projection, and some factors that we may not be able to access easily. This mean that we are using manual. You can actually get it through our private class. You can get the ebook, and if it is the direct text that you want, you can also get that. See you guys in the next edition. Don't forget, subscribe. Bye bye.